Welcome back. This is going to be an hour-long shopping trip, going to a lot of stores. So just sit back, relax, clean your house, whatever, and we'll just chit-chat, right? Like old friends. So to begin with, this is from a couple of days ago. This amazing, it looks like an IKEA sectional, I'm not sure, $99 at Goodwill. I just bought a couch. You can see that video also on this channel if you go back and look. Just got one from Temu, but this thing was gorgeous. I left it behind and ended up going to the bin store. It is an Amazon bin store. I know a lot of people think I repeat every video what an Amazon bin store is, but I feel like it's necessary because there are people that have no idea what that is. It is a store where they purchase a lot of pallets. It may be returns, it may be shelf pulls, it may be last year's version of a product, what have you, and they sell it for cheap. They dump it all out on these tables, and the price will start out at like $10, and then the next day it'll be $7, the next day $5, and so on until it gets to $1. You may have one near you. You can put it in Google to search. Bin store, Amazon store, return store. Hopefully you can find one. Miles may vary as far as what particular stores start their products out at what particular price. So just be aware of that. Anyhow, it's a blast and you can find anything and everything. I feel like this day was, I want to say $3 day. It was already picked over quite a bit. It just so happens that at this particular store, if you go back to videos that I did a while back at this store, there wasn't that many people that were aware of it. But now that they are, you can see the difference in this $3 day compared to others because you can see the bottom of the table. I mean, they have ravaged it. A lot of people come here to resell on Amazon, eBay, local sales, their garage sales, flea markets, things like that, Facebook Marketplace, Macquarie, OfferUp, all those online stores, apps. A lot of people like to resell things. It's a great place to do that because you can make money off of this. I was a reseller hardcore for a couple of years and burned out, so now I'm just kind of chilling. I do have an eBay store. I've been kind of lazy about it lately, but I still come to the bin stores, right? Because honestly, I save so much money, and usually anything that I am in the market for or I have in my Amazon cart or I've been looking for usually ends up in these Amazon bin stores. And I get it for a fraction of the price. My average savings probably is around 90%. So, I mean, honestly, you can't really beat it. Now, you're going to see there's a lot of random items, and this particular load that they got in, there's quite a few returns. Usually the store has I'll say 90% brand new product. But this load in particular, I think it's from a new distributor, is quite a few returns, which you have to be a little more careful with, right? And make sure that all the pieces are there and that if it's electronic, it actually works, things like that. But they do have an opening station, and most places do. Doesn't mean yours will, but it probably will. And you can open items up there and check them. Just make sure you put everything back and put tape back on if it's available, and make sure it's sealed, because the worst thing in the world is to get excited because you found an item and it has multiple parts or pieces. You get it home only to realize somebody has opened the box and something has fallen out, and so you can't use the item because it's incomplete. So just be a good citizen of the world and return things as you find them. Now, I don't remember everything I bought this day. I feel like, I don't know. I go dang near every day, so it's hard to remember. But I feel like I only bought a couple of things this day. I did find some very interesting items, and a lot of times I will give items to other people if it looks like it's worth a lot of money. And, you know, if I were a seller, I'd keep it myself, but I'm not. And I find that if you're really kind to people, and you help them find things, or you hand them things that could be, a high value that they can make a coin off of. If they ever have an item that you really, really want, they're more likely to hand it to you. So it's kind of you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of situation. So keep that in mind too. I'm currently, as I'm doing this voice recording, in front of the bin store, and there are 10 people in line at this point, which is kind of crazy. It is Dollar Day. I'm not going to video it because it's kind of the same stuff, way less than you see in this video. Again, people have just taken over this place, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's good for the business, right? But I like to find a honey hole and kind of keep it to myself. But, it's impossible. People find out, they can get a good deal. They're Christmas shopping, they're stockpiling and buying, things to resell and you name it. So, you can't keep a good thing contained for too long. Everybody finds out. So I'm going to shut up a minute and let you enjoy the browsing. One disclaimer I do like to mention in every single shopping video: be very aware that this can become addicting, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing according to how you look at it, what kind of personality you have. You got to be really careful when you're in these places, because there are so many random items that you had no idea that you wanted until you see it, and then all of a sudden you can come up with a million reasons that you should buy it. Don't get overboard, because I've seen people, and fell victim to it myself, of purchasing too much, and then I end up giving it away or decluttering it later. And I think it's just that dopamine that enters our brain and hits really good and hard, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I found this, and you're so excited. Then that goes away, and when you get home, you kind of live in buyer's regret. So I do want to put that womp disclaimer in here, because it is easy to get carried away, especially when it's items that are valued so much higher than what you can pay for it. Unless you're a reseller, and in that case, buy it all. Just take everything, right? Everybody has their own system, the way that they pick items. And mine tends to be, I will grab a bunch of boxes, set it on the table, walk away, find some more, and come back. Oh, by the way, that sign was purchased. I know it's not necessarily appropriate, but it did go into a local business's bathroom, which I think is funny. That's my personality. If you don't know me already, you'll get to know it. Now, I did find this purse, and it is a knockoff version of the Michael Kors tote bag. The only difference being obviously probably quality, although this did feel like decent quality. But it does not say Michael Kors on it. It is identical. It says tote bag on the front and on the back. $3. You can't beat that. Even the knockoffs are more than what I would pay for them. And as a matter of fact, I ended up handing this over to a lady that has been Christmas shopping. You've probably seen her in other videos. She's a little older. She's super sweet, and I help her find lots of things, and she loves to buy purses. I guess she has a lot of chicks in her family she's wanting to buy for Christmas, so I did give that to her, because honestly, I'm not going to carry that purse. It's cute, don't get me wrong, but believe it or not, and this seems very contradictory to my shopping habits, but I'm a minimalist, meaning I don't own a lot of items. Although I do shop for a lot of items, I will shop for other people. I will end up giving it away, things like that. But I've been very, very conscious of my purchases lately, because I've kicked my minimalist declutter into overdrive. And we'll do some videos on that as well. So if you are new, go ahead and sub up, because we're doing kind of a series where I'm doing a makeover in my living room and my dining room, and probably going to move throughout the house as time goes on. We're doing a big kitchen redo. but that's going to be for a later date. But I'm ordering mostly from Temu. Yes, I am a Temu fan. This is not a sponsored video whatsoever, but I'm ordering most of the furniture, etc. from Temu, artwork, and the like. And I would love for y'all to come on that journey. I always love watching the befores and afters of rooms when people redo them, especially on a budget, because everything's so expensive now. But yeah, I would love for you to sub up. We do live streams over here, just talking about like community topics or shopping or just life and motivation, cleaning, things like that. I'm a big fan of cleaning, decluttering, minimalism. That is where my heart lies. That is my passion in life. That is my gift, I'll call it. And I would love for you to join us. And I don't know, maybe you can simplify your life, because that's the journey I'm on. You see, the bins are just lock, stock, and loaded with stuff, and pretty good for a $3 day. But honestly, I've seen them a lot fuller. Like I said, there's a lot of people that have discovered this place, and it's like Christmas every day to them, so they are really showing up and showing out. And again, that's great for the business. That means that they will have longevity here, and we can look forward to many years of digging through these amazing items. But it is a detriment to those that like to go in and it be quiet and you have plenty of time and you don't have to snatch and grab things and feel like you're in competition. You know, it's a whole thing. But I do think if you find one near you, you will enjoy it. And it's something you can do with the entire family or your friends, a girl's day out or what have you. Like, it's super fun. And I always usually walk away with at least one thing that is super useful. Again, you can get overboard and just bring home just bag after bag of nothing but junk, for lack of a better word. But most of the time, if you're very careful and you think it through, you're going to come out with some really great stuff. So definitely put it in Google search, or if you've seen one in your area and you've been kind of curious, look, just go in and give it a try. There are a few rules you will need to know that I've discussed in other videos, and I feel like it bears repeating. For those of you that don't know the etiquette, you never, ever, ever, and I'm going to say this as a blanket statement for all regions, anywhere you go, you never open a box over top of the bins. That is definitely not only frowned upon, but at this particular location, it became such a problem. They will warn you once, and then they will tell you to leave. So do not do that. Again, there's likely an opening station, or if there's not an opening station, usually you can take things to the front desk and the person that works there will be more than happy to open it for you and let you see what's inside. Usually they don't make you purchase it without seeing what is in the box, because a lot of times the workers don't know either. They get the boxes in, they toss them on the table. They have no idea if all the pieces are included or not. So that's just something to keep in mind, and it will keep you from getting yelled at. Right, so I'm doing you a favor. Look at this blanket. Isn't that cute? It's nothing that goes with anything that I have, but I thought it was super cute. It was out of the package. Evidently somebody opened it, but it was super nice. Most of the things in here, I would say at least way over half, maybe close to all things, this day were worth more than $3. Like I said, it's usually around 90% off. As the days get cheaper, the stuff gets a little cheaper, but for the most part, you're always going to save money. So do yourself a favor, hunt one down and get the whole family together and bum rush that place. All right, I think we've had enough of the bins at this point, and we're going to go ahead and check out and move forward to a little different type of shopping. Locally, I have a Marshall's, I have the Ross and Walmart, JCPenney, Big Lots. I don't have a lot of variety. I live in a small town. But, I do like to shop from time to time. Mostly I like to do it online, but sometimes I want to see it in person. And Hobby Lobby, and that is where we are now. I was looking at their artwork, mostly. I am a beige lover. And I know that currently the big trend is organic modern with a lot of natural materials and wood and the beige and off-whites and the very gentle greens and things like that. That's beautiful. And I always say that is where my heart lies. But for some reason, I have took an L and now I'm in full pop culture, brighter colors, a lot of whites, a lot of pops of color. I'm really into it. And so I thought, Hobby Lobby is probably one of the only places locally that I'm going to be able to find artwork. I did order some from Temu, and that is coming up. And let me tell you, it beats everything I saw at Hobby Lobby or anywhere else for that matter. So I would suggest going on to Temu, and I'm going to have a video up specifically about that artwork as we do the living room makeover. But I did want to browse and just make sure because they did have 75% off, and it's worth taking a peek. I mean, most of you are not going to be into that pop art culture look. And so I think it's nice to be able to see what they do have out there in case you don't feel like going and browsing. You just kind of want to see what's out there. So this will give you an idea. I mean, obviously, according to your region, etc., you may have different stuff. But for the most part, Hobby Lobby is going to have the same things every place. Those white chairs are very similar to what I ordered off Temu. I think those are $41.99. On sale, by the way, and I paid like 60 something, 65 for all 4 of mine, which is insane. It shows you how you can cut your costs if you just shop around. I'm not somebody that usually can just walk in, pay no attention to prices and just buy it. I do my research. I do like to see if I can find it cheaper other places, etc. And that's just common sense, right? So if you're not doing that, definitely adopt that policy. Now, if you have tons of money to blow and you have no budget at all, good on you. I'm glad. Go for it. Don't even look at the price tag. But most people do like to save where they can, so especially with home decor. So do yourself a favor. If you find an item in store, snap a picture of it, put it in Google Lens, which is right there on your Google. See if you can find it somewhere else cheaper. You may have to wait for shipping. Just have some patience. It's worth it, right? So you can save money that way. So keep that in mind. But Hobby Lobby does have beautiful things, right? There's no denying that. I don't care who you are. Gorgeous items. A lot of fall things were already out. They're always ahead of the game here. They don't do Halloween. I think they're Christian-based. I'm assuming that's why I'm not speaking for them. There's one of those wooden items. Look how pretty. I had to kind of steer clear of that stuff because I don't want to get sucked back into the same beige vortex that I feel like I've been living in for a hot minute. But again, they have beautiful things. There is a style for everything you can imagine in here. But they do tend to be a little expensive. I know they continuously run the 40% off, 50% off, 75% off sales. Honestly, I think this stuff is overpriced to begin with. But those mushrooms weren't. They were like $7.99, I think. Light as a feather. And I was really... I got my thumb or something in the way. But I was really considering purchasing these, and then I didn't. So I may go back and get those. It's a cordon. I'm not sure. The colors were pretty, but I wish they were just a tad more colorful maybe for me. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all may see those in an upcoming video. You just never know. But the fall stuff was very much falling. I know a lot of people are doing the Halloween in June, and I don't have a Joann's or a Michael's or any of that stuff or an at-home. So I got to wait. I'm playing the waiting game with Halloween. I'm not going to go overboard. There has been many beautiful Halloween items at the bin stores I've passed up. Usually what happens is after a season is over, within a couple of months, the bin stores are overflowing with it. So Halloween stuff usually comes out around Christmas at the bin stores because people are returning stuff or Shelves are getting overran with stuff from previous, holidays and things. So, it ends up there. But anyhow, this was the 75% off aisle. That leopard pillow was cute, but I can't get carried away with that, right? I have to stay focused. I'm looking for artwork, but you can't not look when something is super duper clearanced and they have you solely convinced that you are saving a bundle. It really gets into your mind. You can't shake it. So I did have to take a peek at this stuff. Didn't pick anything out from here and didn't end up buying anything from Hobby Lobby. Although they had some things I thought were pretty. Things I will keep in mind. If I can find them cheaper elsewhere, fine. If not a big deal. I thought that little sign was cute, but it looked a little bit cliche, a little movie room, man cave-ish to me. So maybe a little teenagery, which is what I'm trying to avoid. Anytime you're dealing with bright colors and maybe some neon signs or what have you, you got to be really careful that it doesn't turn into a childish look and that it's a pit you can fall in. And I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm being very careful what I pick. But they did have some nice things, like these wall stickers. I mean, they're cute. What can you say? One thing I will say is it often, to me anyway, gets overwhelming in here. I feel like as amazing as it is that they have so many things to choose from, it's a little much and it all kind of starts looking the same at some point. So I don't know. I love Hobby Lobby. I have purchased many items there, but honestly, online is probably my favorite way to shop. The only thing about online is you have to be very careful when you're considering measurements, whether it be furniture, art, whatever the case may be, even clothing. Pay very close attention to measurements. So many times I have seen people who have put reviews on Amazon or Temu or what have you, and a lot of times they're upset because they'll say, this item was way smaller than I thought. Devil's in the details. It doesn't take a second to check the measurements. I can't believe that picture frame was that much even on sale. You see, that's the problem with Hobby Lobby. I mean, they do have really pretty items and things like that, but their prices are so insanely high that they make you feel like you're getting a deal to a point when they say 50% off, 75% off. But sometimes you're still not getting a deal. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Hobby Lobby is overpriced, or do you think it's pretty fair? I'm leaning towards it's a little expensive in my opinion. But I can't take away the fact that they do have a little bit of everything and it's good quality. So can't take that from them. I just wish that they had things for a little cheaper, because Christmas before last, I had purchased, I think, at the Dollar Tree before it was $1.25. So I just paid $1, but it was a Christmas ornament. And I just so happened to have came here and was browsing. And sure enough, I found the identical. Now, when I say identical, I mean literally the exact same item here for like $5.99, $8.99. Mind you, probably 40 to 50% off. But it doesn't matter. Even at $4, that's crazy when you can buy the exact same thing at the Dollar Tree. Now, I'm not even attempting to have you believe that you can find the exact same things at the Dollar Tree as you can at Hobby Lobby, but some of the smaller items you absolutely can. And it kind of all goes back to that private label stuff, or is it called white label, whatever it's called. It's just a big manufacturer that churns out all of these items. Different stores, different vendors, etc., will purchase them, and they can slap their own label on it. They can price it for whatever they want. So just be aware of that. That's why, again, I'm going to remind you, shop around, kids. And I stayed in the store quite a while. I think really it was due to the fact that they had so many things on sale. I wanted to make sure I didn't overlook anything. But you can see for yourself, the trend that is so hot and heavy is definitely heavy in the neutral territory. Not so much your stark white farmhouse, but more so that modern organic, which is so very popular right now. I feel like I hopped on that bandwagon pretty early in the game, maybe a little ahead of schedule. And so, again, I'm kind of burned out on it. So that's why my direction has changed. And to be honest with you, it's a little more fun when you have to actually hunt for items. I love that wall piece right there. I was so close to getting that when it was 40% off, and now it's 50% off. Not going to lie, it ran through my mind, but I'm happy to announce that I resisted and I did not pick it up. I think it would have been around $30. In my opinion, that's just too much. I feel like $18, $20 would have been plenty. That's not why I didn't get it. Again, I was looking for more vibrant things, and unfortunately, I didn't find anything I was pleased with. I do like the Pac-Man sign. I know that's kind of cheesy, but that is something I enjoyed when I was little. I'm kind of just reliving my childhood, letting my hair down, enjoying colors and just frivolous, silly, inexpensive, happy things. Not to say that beige and greenery and earth tones aren't happy. They are very peaceful, very calming, very sedate. But again, I'm in my season, in my era of vibrant colors. So let me do my thing, okay? Don't judge me. But if you are still into the farmhouse look or that modern organic situation, Hobby Lobby is overflowing with that kind of stuff. The free parking sign was cute too. Didn't get it. And that's another thing, the scale of things. I have learned that I would rather purchase one large item, and it makes more sense to me compared to purchasing a lot of really small items. And that could be anything, whether it be artwork or knickknacks, which I do not own hardly any. But I would prefer, even if the larger item is more expensive, I feel like it's a better bargain for your dollar and has a bigger impact as a focal point if you, let's say, purchase one big piece of art compared to maybe purchasing a lot of small pieces. I feel like it cheapens a room when you do that. And if you're somebody that does that, that's fine. Don't let anybody tell you how to style your home. It is yours. It's personal to you. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't like a lot of small things. I'd rather have something a little bit larger scale to make a big impact with less. That's kind of my motto. And I do keep in mind that 4th of July is coming up, and right after that, we're going to start looking towards fall. I know that's, way ahead of us in the future, but a lot of people who do enjoy the fall and they love fall decorating and Halloween particularly, those of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people have already began to search for their Halloween decor, etc. I've looked around a little bit for stuff, but definitely looking forward toward the fall. And Hobby Lobby is the fall Grand Central Station, so to speak. I mean, it's hustle and bustle and rustle in there. So many people pile in when it comes to the Thanksgiving things, the fall things, the Halloween things. It's amazing. So I can't wait for all that to totally pop off. They do have a lot out already, as they always do. But I'm looking forward to other stores kind of releasing their fall, Halloween type stuff, especially Marshall's. I do find cute things there. I'm really interested to find out what the big hot item will be this year. I know last year the Headless Horseman was a big deal, and I don't keep up really, really close, but I get around, so I do see little bits and pieces of what's hot, and I like most of it. So I was in the little furniture area where it's on sale. I love that mid-century type table right there. It was like $40. Not a bad price. Didn't need it. Again, not into that natural look right now. Probably will be in the future, but I'm not shopping for future me. We are shopping for current moment. And so even though I love that lamp as well, that's one of my favorite styles of a lamp. Didn't get that either. Got none of this. Had this been a couple of weeks ago, definitely would have grabbed it. Okay. But I loved this tree. I haven't even mentioned the fact they have Christmas stuff out, which of course they do. But it's a little early for me. I mean, even for me, and I can look at Halloween stuff, but Christmas, nah. But I do love those Grinch trees, but they're very expensive. I should try to find a dupe of those. And a lot of people have already purchased them, etc. So you already have one. But they're super cute. That would definitely go with my really colorful theme I have rocking. And I'm not paying $150 for it, though. So gonna have to find an alternative, which I have a whole different Christmas thing planned. We'll get to that way, way later. But here is a preview of some of the fall things that are out. It's stuff that we've seen year after year. Excuse the dog in the background. She's playing. But I did notice a lot more of these little mushrooms everywhere. Different tops and colors and shades of them and styles. They're very cute. I don't know. I was tempted a couple of times, but in the end, I did not get any, and I'm not mad that I didn't. Are we even still at Hobby Lobby? Yes, we are still at Hobby Lobby. I don't know what to do with myself. I just kept going in circles and looking at every single thing they had. I had FOMO. I wanted to make sure I didn't skip over anything. Love those trays. That is something else. A few weeks ago, I would have probably been tempted to pick up, even though I own wooden trays out the wazoo right now. But you see, they had 50% off. So again, if these are things that are your style, even if you're still totally married to the farmhouse style, which is kind of on its way out a little bit. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you, but what that means is you're not going to be seeing those types of things in the stores. They're not trending. I think a lot of times people get offended when people will say, well, that's out of style. If that's your style, it's on its way out. People are like, well, I can do what I want. Of course you can. Nobody is going to deny you that. Here's the thing, though. When trends change, like farmhouse is kind of withering, and now you have the organic modern coming in hardcore, what that means for you is you are not going to be able to find the types of items that match your decor like you could prior. When farmhouse was all the rage, you could come in here and it looked like a whole barn situation with all the things. Now you can see the shift. It's going more into that boho. It's more of the creams, the eggshell whites, not that stark black and white contrasty and the heavy on the grays that we saw with the farmhouse style. So it's just to let you know you're going to have a harder time finding those things now. Love that picture, even though it is super obvious that it comes from, Hobby Lobby. And that's one of my pet peeves too. I don't want somebody to walk in my home and say, oh, I can tell you go to old Hobby Lobby. I try to avoid that. I know a lot of people love that with all these cows and all that stuff. That's cute and everything, but it's just not up my alley. Although I've been tempted many times to purchase things that would give the idea that I'm a Hobby Lobby fan. Nothing wrong with it, but just not my cup of tea. That's all I'm trying to say. I did like their neon signs. They were 50% off, but I have a hard time finding one that says anything that I care to have kind of stuck up on the wall in a room somewhere, and it's kind of childish. So let's move away from the Hobby Lobby. I'm kind of over them at this point, and I decided to go ahead to Marshall's and see what they had to offer. Now, they put things out almost every day, I have noticed. And I found a couple of things on this day that I really was tempted to purchase, but I had to talk myself down from it because I didn't need it. And I'll let you know what that is when we come to it. Now, I will tell you this. I love those little dogs. And not only those, but here's what I think I'm going to get. The UFO is beautiful. I think I'm going to go back and get it. But hear me out. It was $16.99. They had 2 of them. Also like those mushrooms. But they had the exact same thing. I mean the exact UFO on Temu for $8 and change. Kids, that's half off for that UFO. You can look it up yourself. Look up sparkly UFO, I don't know, glamorous UFO. You will find it on Temu, and it is half the price. So that's why I cannot drill it into your minds enough. Check prices before you just hand over your hard-earned money. I totally started to get the Hello Kitty, and then I thought better of it. I noticed that they have quite a bit of stuff marked down. I don't know. I think it was Wednesday when I was here, so maybe Wednesday's their markdown day. I don't know. But there's a lamp right there. It is $20. It has been marked down, and I'm seriously thinking about going back and getting that lamp because they also have one at Ross that's smaller and it's black, but it is $24, not on sale. So I feel like that's probably a pretty good deal. Plus, I looked on Temu and other places, and lamps are pretty expensive, especially for the size that I want. A lot of times, if you order from Temu and you get any kind of lighting, like a lamp or whatever, it will be pretty small, so keep that in mind as well. They have a lot of summer stuff out and things like that. I mean, obviously, it is summer, but they have no Halloween whatsoever. They will start, I guess, in the next probably month, probably the end of July. I feel like they may start to drop some of their fall stuff at the very least. So they have the same aesthetic going on as other places. A lot of that modern organic stuff. Boom, here are the items I started to buy. $60 for the cookie footstool and the bagel. I guess that is a pretzel, bagel. I don't know. I don't eat pretzels nor bagels, but they were so cute. I know there's also a strawberry, possibly a hamburger. I don't know what's going on. I'm just all about this really whimsical, crazy stuff right now. So I was super tempted on that, but I didn't get it. I'm so proud of myself. But I did have a good time browsing in here. Marshall's, not sponsored by the way, but Marshall's is one of my very favorite stores. Look at those mushroom footstools. Those are so cute. Not my color scheme though, but they always have a good variety of kind of different things you don't see everywhere. I love those pillows. They're very cute. They kind of give off a young feel, and I don't want to, like I said, make my living room look like a teenager's room or anything like that. So I'm trying to be very mindful, but they do have so much to offer. I almost got hung up in the dog section. Had to be careful there, and fell in love with a lot of these chairs and the throws. It's just an overload. We live in the most consumer friendly time probably in history. Well, definitely. I mean, you can find anything and everything. That blue throw was really pretty, by the way. A little bit muted for what I'm going for, but I'm trying to add muted colors and the more vibrant colors, but I don't know, just like this throw with the tiger on it. I thought that was really pretty. Had the colors been a little more outstanding, I would have considered it, I think. But I don't want to mix up too many patterns either. It's really hard for me to explain what I'm going for. I want the room to look very simple, but also colorful and interesting and fun and lighthearted and cool. But I don't want it to get too busy and look childish and teenagery and silly. I don't know. It's a very, very fine balance. Very fine balance. Now I think we're actually in Ross. Yes, we are. I do appreciate that Ross has a cute little furniture section. Look how cute. I don't know if that's for a child or a dog, but it was so cute. I do appreciate Ross. They are definitely not top tier. I would consider Marshall's an amazing store. Ross, pretty good, right? Let's say Marshall's is an A and Ross is a B plus. Let's put it that way. Fell in love with those dog couches. I think there's one that kind of looks like SpongeBob inspired. Right there it is, a little fun pineapple situation, but I skipped over that. I feel like those are frivolous things to buy and things that I end up getting tired of, or they get destroyed or what have you. So I'm not spending $40 on that. Absolutely not. And of course, the artwork. Ross does have, usually, not this day, usually they have a good variety. Ugh, it was horrible today. And that right there that you're looking at, that black and gold, I cannot stand that. What is that, like abstract? Ugh, I just can't. And a lot of that was popular last year. Just canvases with sweeps of paint on them, and I don't know. I don't know what you would even call that. It's very much Ross, okay? It's Ross inspired. That's what it is. You can tell immediately. If I walk in your home and you've got artwork from Ross, I'm going to know it immediately. And so will everybody else probably. I don't know who that woman is, but I did appreciate the colors on that print. And she's really pretty, but again, that's the earth tone, so I skipped that. Didn't have any luck here at all. And I do venture over into the pillow section and was disappointed there as well. I will likely just order pillowcase covers and go that route. That is something I find at the bin store every time almost that I'm there. And I actually picked up, I think it was not today, yesterday, I picked up one that says Boo, and it's got a ghost, and it's really cute and whimsical. So I grabbed that. So I think that's the route I will go. Now there's the black lamp. Look how much smaller it is. You all probably can't tell, but it was, and it was $24.99, I think. And so that's $5 more than the one on sale at Marshall's. Oh my goodness. They have some wild looking rugs here. I will give them credit for that though. Marshall's cannot beat Ross in the rug department. But in my opinion, Temu beats Ross. The rugs aren't as thick, at least the ones I've ordered, but they're cost effective and the colors are amazing. So I'm going with Temu for the win on the rugs. But I do love that desk right there. Again, the organic modern situation. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. But I didn't fold. I did not get anything. See, the pillows were just not pillowing for me. No vibrant colors. It was all very, very navy. And I mean, there was one strawberry pillow. Okay. But for the most part, it was all very muted and neutrals and all of that, which is fine. But just not what I was looking for. I basically just made this a full day of shopping. Actually, this is 2 days kind of combined. Look at that Coach purse. That might be the coolest Coach purse I've ever seen. That's kind of the vibe I'm in, right? I should have bought that. Anywho, I kind of skipped over the clothes and then I left. And I went to good old Goodwill. This was actually yesterday, and lo and behold, I hit the corner. What do I see? The sectional is still there. I can't believe it. It's $99. Now, mind you, the left side, the arm on the left side is a tad loose. But for the most part, it's sturdy. And the cushions, you can take off the covers and wash them. It's a good neutral. I'm just mind blown. I'll tell you what, the way my luck runs, if that was something I actually wanted to purchase, it would have been gone already. Okay? Because that's how it goes. But anyway, I always go to the artwork because I'm hoping beyond hope that I want to find some really cool print, or considering Hobby Lobby wants a fortune for their frames. You can find some really good frames here for really cheap. So I know most people know that already, but just keep that in mind. You can get picture frames here for so cheap, and then order your prints from Temu or somewhere. I never go down the toy aisle. That is the most unimpressive toy aisle ever. Unfortunately, our Goodwill is not jam-packed full of amazing items like I see so many people on YouTube that go into their Goodwills and it's just teeming with stuff. Ours is a little lackluster, but it is the yard sale season. Maybe when that's over, people will dump their stuff here. There's my jack-o'-lanterns. They're just the cheap little buckets. I think they used to be $1 back in the good old days, but inflation has hit, and I think they're like $3 to $5 now. But I did grab these for 59 cents each. I love these. They're so vibrant, and it's really going to go with the theme I'm kind of running with, which is kind of that whimsical, bright colored type thing. A lot of bats and ghosts and jack-o'-lanterns, nothing too gothic and nothing too serious, which is kind of the opposite of, I think, the entire world's theme for Halloween this year right now. That is trending and hot. I'm just going for the really simple things, and I like it that way. Stuff that's easy to pick up. It's cheap. I don't have to store it. I can actually get rid of it at the end of the season if I so choose. Give it back to Goodwill and let them sell it again if they want. But that's the way I like to do it. I change pretty much every year. My intention eventually is to stick with something so I'm not constantly purchasing things. But I don't feel as guilty when I purchase something at Goodwill or a thrift store or whatever, because I know it's been used before and it will go on to live a life with me. And then perhaps I will return it to them and it can go on and live yet another life. Now, I do not have a good explanation why I picked up that Mickey Mouse pillow. I think because it's very pop culture, and I don't know, it kind of looked, it was new, it wasn't vintage or anything, but it had that vintage Mickey look. And I thought, let me throw it on this couch to see, the size of it, etc. And no, the pillow was not pillowing. It was tiny. It was probably for a kid. So needless to say, I was over that pretty quick, left it behind. But that couch just blows my entire mind. But I was happy to find my Halloween buckets. When I was at the counter checking out, a woman asked me, were there any more? I guess she wanted to buy some too. And of course, when somebody says that, it makes me reinforced with happiness that I did grab them when I did, because it's hard. You see, there's not a lot of really good stuff here. So if you can find anything, you're lucky, because everybody is looking for something. I wish my name was Jules. I'd buy that hat. Is that the name on it? I don't know. But anyway, that hat's been there forever. They need to just throw it away at this point because it's been there for a million years. And then I stopped, of course, at my favorite hot dog vendor food truck and got a freaking Marky dog and extra crispy fries. Guys, thank you all for making it this far into the video. I know it's been a long one. And I want to end this with Chad going bananas with all the pops in the floor at Five Below. God bless him. But God bless you guys. If you haven't subbed up, sub up. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the makeover for the living room, dining room, and I will see you all in the next one.